Hey, hello everyone. Hello, top producers. Thank you for joining me today for another episode of Ask Anything Automotive. We have a guest coming up today. His name is Alex Flores, but for some reason he's not joining us right now. So I tried to get connected with Alex and I reached out to him. He's not responding. Being a general manager and also a dealer partner is excusable sometimes in the middle of the day. You have to deal with something that doesn't uh, wait. So business doesn't care about circumstances, and I'm sure that he's dealing with something very important. So we're gonna excuse Alex for today. If he's able to join us a little bit later on, he definitely will jump. I'm sure that we'll hear from him soon. But in the meantime, we're not going to just waste time, and we're going to get into our topic today. So today I wanted to talk to you about culture, about building the right culture, uh, and how to do it, whether you're sales manager or dealer owner or a salesperson. It's extremely important for you. It doesn't matter on what position you are at the dealership to be able to either build the right culture or find the right culture. So what makes that critical is that every single piece of the puzzle would be easily um, easily found in the right culture. So, how to create that winning environment? How to create that culture? The number one thing is our mission. What is your mission as a sales pro? What is your mission as a manager? What is your mission as a general manager? What is your mission as a finance director? What is your mission as a dealer owner? We all have a mission, right? So, what is the end result? What is that we're fighting for every day? If you say sell more cars and make more money, that's really not specific and it's not really a mission. So, many people start a dealership because they want to change the business. Many managers want to lead their team because they learned from a mentor and they want to be able to apply the same principles that they used in their career, and they were different than everybody else's principles, and they made the difference. So many salespeople have a specific mission in life, and their motivation is not financial, and they're able to mix their passion with what they do and what they sell. And because of their mission, they're able to attract specific clients to their business. So our mission basically designs our purpose, and a person without a purpose is always under the circumstances. So as I mentioned when we started this live stream about Alex and business doesn't take any circumstances, doesn't care about circumstances. Business is not like you and me, doesn't have any feelings. So business moves regardless. And when we don't have any mission or any purpose, or we don't set any goals, then we're going to be victim of circumstances. If we don't have any direction that we're going towards, we're going to be victim of circumstances. We're going to have to serve and be slaves to our business. So let's start with core values. What are your core values as a sales professional, as a sales manager, as a sales director or finance director or owner of a dealership? What are your core values? What are the principles that are non-negotiable? What are the things that make you who you are? Sit down and write down those core values and ask the people around you what their core values are. Compare them with yours. See how many of them fit the same list. See how many of them would agree that those are the core values that they would like to pursue, right? So everything starts with what you value, what's important to you. And if those things are not important to your team, I promise you that your culture is broken. So start with what your core values are. Your core values will inevitably determine the culture in which you live. It doesn't matter what you say, it doesn't matter what you preach, it doesn't matter what's on the wall. It's what you do, what actions you take. So if you don't have your core values written down, and if you don't really practice what you preach, your actions now become your core values, and the people that you work with will determine what your core values are if you don't, based on the action that you take and based on the track record of actions that you took in the past. So, what are your core values? As a business owner, it's inexcusable if you don't have any. As a general manager, as a leader of any kind, it's inexcusable if you don't have your core values communicated on daily basis with your team. They need to know what you value and what's important to you, and you need to know what they value and what's important to them, and you got to see if there's any type of synergy there. So, consequences is a sequence of events happening based on choices. So, that's what consequences means, which leads to the word choice, which is the number one factor for building a powerful culture, for building a winning environment. So in order for you to build a winning environment, everyone on your team has to be there by choice, not because of the financials, not because of some type of agenda, not because of the fact that you put them in position of power, but because it's their choice. You know that question people ask, what would you like to do when you grow up? Or if money wasn't an issue, what would you choose to do with your time? If the choice is anything different than the position you're hiring that person for, I suggest you let them go to pursue their dream. Find out what people's dream is, find out what people's purpose is, find out what people's core values are before you hire them. Find out what their ultimate choice for career would be for them before you hire them. If that's matching what you're hiring them for, then you might have a winner there. You might have somebody that will join your organization by choice, and things are just going to move more natural. I mean, think about when we were in high school, right? In order for you to become a part of a group, part of a specific crew, you have to fit the crew, right? You have to fit that group. If you want to become um, a metalhead, for example, you have to wear a specific type of clothes, you have to have a specific type of haircut, you have to listen to a specific type of music, you have to carry yourself. There's a specific slang that you got to use. There are just so many things that you need to cover in order to fit the culture. It's the same thing. And if you don't do it by choice, fake it till you make it doesn't really work. I mean, people are going to expose you sooner or later. So that's why it's critical for your team members to choose to be part of your team, to choose to do their position, not to force themselves, not to fake it, but to choose to do this all day, because people would work way harder for joy rather than for money. Money is a huge motivation for salespeople, don't get me wrong, and every salesperson is looking for the compensation. But the sacrifice is not worth it. And at the end of the day, people will burn out, regardless of what position they are, if money was the only motivation for them to take action. So figure out what people's choice is. And if their choice is to work with you and your organization, then you have a really good opportunity for a prospect there. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is unity. In order to build a phenomenal culture, you need to celebrate the diversity. And that's what unity really means. Be able to celebrate the diversity. Different people from different communities could have the same mission, and they could choose to do what you do. And that's powerful. So you could have members of different communities that want to pursue the same dream as you because of the same reasons, because they share the same values, and you look totally different. I think that's what unity actually means, to be able to to celebrate each other's diversity and walk towards success together, regardless of your differences. So unity doesn't have to be uniformity. One of the things that I see at dealerships is that everyone looks the same. So many dealers just have that policy of salespeople wearing um, the jerseys and wearing the same exact polo shirts or wear the same uniforms. That doesn't mean that you have unity in your team. If they can't stand each other or working together, it doesn't matter what they're wearing. Plus, you can't really fit with anyone as a client if everyone is wearing the same thing. So I don't have anything against uniforms. I'm not against uniforms. I just don't think that unity means uniformity. So in working at a dealership, I think being able to allow your team to express who they really are is going to help them to attract more people that share the same values. It's not the uniform that attracts people. So we can celebrate one another's differences without wearing the same clothes. I mean, I come from a country. I wasn't born in communism. I was born in democracy. But my parents used to wear uniforms to school, kind of like some private schools have uniforms, right? And I remember my mom sharing with me getting in trouble because she didn't enjoy wearing the same uniform. She wanted to wear different clothes. So I know that it definitely is not something that everyone enjoys, right? When I was working as a salesperson at a dealership, which was 6 years ago, we did have that policy where everybody was supposed to wear the same polo shirt. And I asked the general manager and the owner specifically if I could wear a suit, if I could not be part of the uniformity, and they allowed me. So I was very fortunate to be able to uh, look different, and trust me, that helped me get a lot of attention. People always approached me because I was wearing a real nice suit every time, and they thought I was the person in charge just because they walked in and they judged the book by its cover. They saw everybody's label, they saw a bunch of guys wearing the same shirt, including the management team, and they saw a guy sitting on the front desk with a suit. And they thought, that's the man I want to talk to. That's the guy in charge. He's the best dressed person. So to me, being able to wear a suit when everybody else, including my leadership team, is wearing polo shirts was a huge advantage. So that's why I want to tell you, you could have unity in your team without uniformity. The next thing I want to talk about is something that not too many teams are talking about, and that is love. Love is something that you cannot fake. So if the team members love each other, if they love working together, then this would truly improve your culture. So the reason why I say love is because my favorite law is love always wins. So rules are meant to be broken. What do we know about laws? Not too many people want to break the law, because what happens when you break the law? You got to suffer the consequences, which means, consequences is sequence of events that are happening based on choice, right? So if you choose to break the law, you got to suffer the consequences. But we have less people breaking the law than people breaking the rules. Rules are meant to be broken. They're easy to be broken. They're often justified to be broken. So instead of having rules or policy that we know you're going to abuse sometimes and break, have laws, and post them on your wall. Have bylaws and make sure that the laws are the same for every single employee, including yourself. That's going to drive the culture to levels where everybody loves everybody, kind of like the good Jackie Moon from the movie Semi Pro. I don't know if you've seen it. Another thing I want to share with you is how important open communication is in any organization for the culture. When the porter has the same exact rights as the owner in that environment, it really puts the porter in charge, and it takes the power, a huge amount of power away from the owner. And everybody loves that environment, especially if people are there by choice, you know, because now you would see the owner connecting with all of the employees way faster and easier and better. And you will see the porter or somebody from sales or the cashier just taking way more responsibility than what they're paid for. And it only happens because of open communication, because of empowering people, because of allowing everyone to lead with the truth without any twist. So, if you practice radical transparency in your organization, um, and it applies to everyone, that will improve the culture dramatically. There are so very few organizations that do that, that give the power to the person at the lowest position and take away from the power, from the same power from the owner. So the owner can't change the rules, and the owner also has to apply the law in everything they do. That's huge. When you promote that, many people from the environment that you've created are going to protect their position. They're going to make sure they don't allow people who are going to break the law, and they're going to be policing everyone, which makes your job a lot easier. So the next thing is you can't really get offended. So if you are able to understand that the perfect environment is just like the perfect environment in business is just like family. So in a heated battle sometimes, in a moment of crisis, we're going to say to each other things that we don't mean. And if your brother or sister or father or mother does this to you, eventually you will have to forgive them. You have to go and see them on Thanksgiving dinner, or the weekend, and it's inevitable that you have to forgive them. So just like family, you have to understand that your team members are going to say things they regret. Your team members are going to make mistakes, and you can get offended. If you take that away from your system and understand that when you go to work, things may not go always based on your preferences, and people might step on your foot. If you're able to not take offense, it's going to make you bulletproof. So just realize that no matter what, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening right now, things are going to be better tomorrow, and you have another chance tomorrow. But if this law applies to everyone, you cannot be offended. It's so much easier. It's so much more fun to work with people who don't get offended. Obviously, there's limits of and respect that needs to be applied, so nobody crosses the line. But for simple execution's sake, during the execution, sometimes you just got to be more flexible and be able to accept apology, be able to extend grace in situations like that, and don't get offended. If we don't learn how to live and work unoffended, we'll never be happy. Think about it. There are so many things to get offended right now. Even comedians can't practice their job because so many people are so sensitive and they can't even live a life unoffended. Sometimes we're just going to say things that we regret. The next thing I want to talk to you about is you have to be real. Again, we're going to go back to fake it till you make it and the choice. But if you don't surround yourself with people who are actually the real deal, it's going to be really tough to get to the goals and to the mission and to the vision that you're striving for, right? One of the things that you can't fake in sales is your energy. That's why I say the greeting is one of the most important steps, because you can't fake energy. You can't fake the way you make people feel with your presence. And that's why it's important for people who work for you and people who work in your organization to really enjoy being there. And for every minute of their working day to be real, to be 100% authentic. It's so important. See, in order to be successful in anything you do, in order to get any results, you need to have a very aligned belief system. And what I mean by very aligned belief system is, if your belief system is not aligned, even to the small degree, it will cause you problems, right? So the first thing about, well, your belief system is, you have to believe in your product. You have to believe in your product. You have to believe that your product is offering the best solution in the market. And you also have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're able to execute every single detail about your job description. And you have to believe in your organization. If you believe in your product and you believe in your organization, but you don't believe in yourself, you're not going to take as many opportunities. If you believe in yourself and you believe in your product, but you don't believe in your organization, you're going to be able to show and pass this on to your clients. When clients ask you organizational questions like, how long you guys been in business, or what's next for the organization, or how long are you open till, or anything about the experience, when customers make a comment about something that you could improve, or um, something that's wrong with the process, or anything about the facility, they're going to sense your honest opinion about the organization. And you can't fake that. Sometimes with micro impression or with body language, you'll be able to show them exactly what you feel towards the organization, and they're going to use that to make the decision. So if you believe in your product and you believe in yourself, but you don't believe in your organization, say goodbye to the high growth deals, because nobody's going to invest in a company that treats their employees terribly. So if you believe in your organization and you believe in yourself, but you don't believe in the product, say goodbye to loyal customers. Say goodbye to repeat customers. Say goodbye to those people that buy your product because they love your brand. If you show them that you're not passionate enough, and what I mean by passionate enough is, you need to be at least as passionate as your buyer, or 100% better if you're even more passionate, so that way they could feed off of your passion and they could be resold. You know that saying, always be closing? That's part of the deal. If you don't love your product, if you're not projecting, if you're not magnifying the strengths of your product, your clients are not going to feel super confident that this is the right product for them. If they already bought 3 4 of these, the same that you sell, now is the time to get even more passionate. You can't just assume the sale. Now is the time to talk about all the new things and all the upgrades and all the improvements in your product, all the potential negatives you need to turn into positives, right? So if you have that belief system aligned and you believe in yourself just as much as you believe in your product and your organization, 10 out of 10, only then you'll be able to go to work with the right attitude. And only if every employee shares that belief system, you're going to have an environment that is thriving. And once when you have a great attitude, the great attitude is going to allow you to take massive action, because we don't take action just based on, you know, experience. We take action also based on the way we feel, which means you could be in the business for 30, 40 years and know exactly what to do, but not take action. Have you met anyone like that? I've met plenty of people like that know exactly what they need to do, but they're not doing it. And they haven't been doing it for months and years. Why? Because they don't feel good anymore. There's something in their belief system that is broken. Whether it's they don't believe in themselves anymore because they've been emotionally beaten down, or because they had relationship issues, or because their confidence is low. Could be drug addiction. Who knows what the reason is why they don't believe in themselves? Or maybe the product, they're disappointed with the product. I used to coach a team. I used to train a sales team that hated their product. Like literally 8 out of the 10 salespeople dislike their product. They talk really badly about their product to me, and they said they never say that to the customer. But you think the customer can't catch their energy? I'm pretty sure they can. So if they don't feel the same love towards the product, they don't take that action. If they don't believe in themselves, they don't believe in the organization, they don't take the action. Once when you take the action, once when you have the right attitudes, you can take massive amount of action. Only then you can count on getting the results. So I want to encourage you to only hire people who truly love your brand, people who truly love being part of the environment, people who truly share the values and the mission of the culture, and people who truly believe in themselves. And if you have people who don't, it's your responsibility as a leader to make sure that those three things ignite and those three things align. So you can't teach somebody to care. You can't teach somebody to be nice. You can't teach somebody to have a desire to win, but you can definitely feed their self-esteem. You can their confidence, not their self-esteem, but their confidence. You can definitely feed their love towards the product, and you can feed their love towards the organization on a daily basis if you feel that there's a lack in that in your team. So the final thing I want to talk to you about is being able to empower your team. Being able to empower your team by enforcing that culture, not really enforcing it, but empowering that culture. And you empower that culture by empowering each individual to believe in the mission, to believe in the culture, to believe that everyone is equal and the laws apply to everyone. And if you don't empower that by empowering each individual, the culture is going to disappear sooner or later. So I can share with you, if you're watching, please share a comment, give me something, and I will continue to talk to you about 15 things that you can do right now to increase your profit if you already feel that you have the right culture. So let me know if you're interested in learning more, if you're watching this, and if you want to comment. And if you're not, I'm just going to cut it short, and I'll share with you the 15 things you can do right now to boost your profit if you already have the perfect culture. If you're not interested, we're just going to continue that next week, next Monday. So next Monday, I'm going to share with you 15 things that you can do in a winning environment already to increase your profit and your sales volume. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. It was a pleasure. Make it a great day.